Hi everybody, this is Joel Kennedy with Kennedy Violins. So our featured violin today is the Antonio Giuliani Etude Violin. Now the Giuliani line of violins, there's several violins in that lineup. We have all of them. Now the least expensive is the Etude. So this violin is primarily meant for beginners, mostly continuing beginners, up until like the intermediate. So one of the things about the Giuliani violin is that it's going to be on the higher end of like the tier 1 violins because it not only has a really high grade bridge on the instrument, but it's a French bridge. So basically the Etude they're all going to have, really high quality French bridges. Okay, so I'll just talk about some of the characteristics of this violin in particular. Okay, so one thing you'll notice about the Etude violins is that they're all going to have a really nice back. So they're going to have that choice wood that's really nice looking. It's really pretty. We all like to see the flame, and all the Etudes are going to have nice flame. But they also have wood that's going to be built specifically, stored, cured, everything else for violins. So the top is going to be a tight grain spruce. And the back, of course, is going to be that maple I was talking about, as well as the sides. Now, the fittings are going to be the highest quality ebony fittings. So you've got the pegs, the fingerboard, chin rest. So it only looks cool, but they're super durable as well. Okay, so the Etudes come as a complete outfit. So that means that you get everything that you need for the most part, right? So you're going to get a full oblong case, not one of those dinky, arrow-shaped cases. You're going to get a full oblong case. That means it's going to protect your instrument better, and you're going to have tons of storage. So you can put your shoulder rest, your mute, your cleaning cloth, your rosin, your tuner, and your sheet music in your case. So you don't have to carry a separate bag and all that. So really, really convenient and really practical. So let's see here. I'll just talk about the setup here really quick. Now, all the violins at Kennedy Violins, and what separates Kennedy Violins from just about everybody else, is that we do the final assembly and setup here in Washington State. It's not done overseas or something like that. So it's really important that your setup is done properly and it's done right before the violin is sent to you. So your violin is set up specifically for your particular instrument. So the setup is really important because it makes the violin easier to play, which of course is especially important for beginners, but it also maximizes the potential, or maximizes the sound or whatever it is about your instrument for whatever its potential is. Because every instrument has its own potential. A proper setup will maximize that instrument. So it sounds the best and it plays the best. So when I'm talking about setup, what do I mean? So there's a lot of different things, but primarily you want to focus on that bridge, this French, Aubert bridge. A lot of time has been put into the arch. So that makes the string crossings easier. The string spacing is just right, so you can play those double stops or a string by itself easier. The feet are fitted really, really well to the top of the violin, so the sound is transmitted properly and as best as it can be from the strings to the instrument. Same thing with the nut, right? The nut is carved specifically, so it's just the right height. The string spacing is just right, and the grooves are just the right height. Right? So we spend a lot of times on the peg to make sure that the pegs work really well, they're smooth, and the violin is easy to tune, and it stays in tune. Another thing is the tailpieces are going to have that 4 built-in fine tuners, which of course makes it a lot easier for beginner to intermediate players to tune their violin, because not all of us are super comfortable with just tuning with the pegs all the time. So these make the violin a lot easier to tune and just live with on a daily basis. So that's kind of the basics about the instrument line. So if you guys have any questions about, the Giuliani violins or any other violins, just give us a call here at Kennedy Violins. We're all players and teachers here at Kennedy Violins. So this is what we do, this is what we know. And so any kind of questions that you have, you just tell us what your particular situation is or what kind of violin you like, and we can recommend the perfect violin for you. So I hope you guys have a great day.